everybody. Oh, something or someone just doesn't want me to be filming something today. This is the third time and third different program I'm using to record this. So maybe third time is the charm. Let me get back to my notes. Yeah, okay. Finland. Let me get back. Just remind everyone this is for entertainment purposes only. The full disclaimer is in the description box. I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Let's keep the numbers going. I am a clairvoyant, so I'll see and hear things, and Sunday was a short video. So I have a lot of notes that I started taking actually starting last Friday night, and we did have a live stream on Saturday. So yes, when you see premiere, it just means a brand new pre-recorded video is being shown for the first time. Live broadcasts are the second and fourth Saturday of the month, and so let's get going. I've got yeah, Finland. Finland, we know they had new elections. The old regime kind of got booted out. They now have a coalition government. And my gut feeling is that, yeah, they became the 31st member of NATO. I think it was all because they were bullied into it. If they didn't join, they would have been, there would have been like unofficial sanctions happening with Finland. So we need to be aware of that. And now I think they're trying to get Sweden to join also. But Sweden's always been neutral. But I guess they're trying to get Sweden to join NATO also. Maybe to hide the fact that they know what happened to that pipeline. I'm just going to go through the notes. And if I jump around, hey, deal with it. That's how my brain works. Yeah, the stuff coming out about the fall of Kabul, that paperwork is coming out. Well, they've sanitized it and they're trying to blame 45, but in reality, it was more of a mess than the fall of Saigon. So the JoJo camp is trying to cover their butts, and they're just kind of trying to cover their butts on how bad they messed up. So yeah, fall of Kabul paperwork's coming out, and go back, read the history, watch the videos, and Kabul was worse than Saigon. I know I'm old. The other thing about a certain TikTok personality, well, remember TikTok is the Big Red Sea company that's used to influence people into the Big Red Sea's way of thinking. Well, the beverage company has not, for at least now 10 years, hasn't been an American country. It's a Brazilian, Belgian company. And if anybody's watching what's going on, Brazil, I think, is part of that BRICS group. So it doesn't surprise me that they would do something because Brazil's in coalition with the Big Red Sea. So if you're going to do something, if people are going to, I have a feeling that the value of shares of that company, that Belgian-Brazilian company, are going to start tanking. So if Americans were smart, we'd start grabbing up the shares when the prices drop. So the majority of the shares are now sufficient enough are owned by Americans. So during the stockholder meetings, Americans can vote to override what the Brazilians and the Belgians are doing with that company. Yeah. Now, uh, I don't know if people realize it, but here in Chicago, it's always been a joke that, or it's not a joke. For a long time, it's reality that we had more Polish people living in Chicago than in the city of Warsaw, especially during the 1980s, 70s and 80s, when Lech Walesa and everything, when the big strike at the shipyard in Poland so um, when Poland was in the middle of breaking apart from communist bloc. Now, I've got Polish neighbors. And she goes, you won't believe what I was talking to her yesterday. And she goes, you're not going to believe what we just got. What she got. You see, Poland is sending out notifications to all Polish citizens within a certain age bracket. They have to go and register and go through a physical for what some people could say national service. And they are really looking at people who are in the medical fields and other certain skill sets. So, yeah, she was given a date. She has to go and visit the Polish consulate here in Chicago and basically register because she is in the medical field. And so Polish citizens are being required to register for national service. And we all know what that could mean. So, yeah, it's kind of scary. And it's kind of like what's going on with what's their faces, because the dude that's in charge of the country for wine and cheese, he went over and paid a visit to the guy who's the grand poobah of the Big Red Sea. And now he's back, and people were surprised that he wasn't waving like a piece of paper, like a typewritten message on it, like Neville Chamberlain did. Yeah, they're comparing that guy to him and his appeasement thing. But he's making a mess, and it's we got to watch, because what's going on with the blue and yellow country versus the bear, they're going to try and make it spread so we're not paying attention to what's going on in the Pacific Theater. And yeah, I can hear my dad saying, he goes, it's the same stuff all over again. It's like England left the Pacific Theater out to left them on their own, and the Nips, the emperor, knew about it, so that's why he said, hey, keep on going south. I mean, they took over all those islands and imprisoned so many people because they knew that everybody was occupied with what's going on the European continent, that they couldn't defend the Pacific Theater. And everything was still chaotic mess until, of course, America had to go in and bail their butts out. And I can hear my dad saying, it's like they start the nonsense, and we have to go and bail their butts out. But right now, JoJo's in on the plot. And if you look, they've kind of decimated our own resources to go and help people, our own guys who kind of come out of Great Lakes and Lachlan and stuff. They're kind of decimating our guys. So keep an eye on this stuff, because they're saying it's just they're playing games in the Pacific Ocean. But my dad, who's passed over, he's like, he was stationed in Burma, so he saw a lot of what was going on in the Pacific Theater. He said they're doing it all over again. It's the Pacific Theater all over again. So I'm like, okay, Dad. And there are people in the JoJo camp that are they're spreading gossip on social media. And some of the gossip is totally accurate, and some of it is completely wrong. And they're using all sorts of social media to get this gossip out. Yesterday, a friend of mine from the West Coast contacted me, and he said, hey, listen, our Gavin from the West Coast is out making speeches all over. They go, watch out. Well, a lot of people who used to live in the state that Gavin runs, they're all moving out, and they're moving to states that have been run by conservatives because they don't have the same issues. But they still haven't changed their way of thinking, saying, hey, listen, our governor let our state go to heck in a handbasket, but they're still thinking the same way as they're being stupid donkeys. Are they going to continue and elect him to turn our entire country into the same way that he's done on that West Coast state? I mean, the 3 states on the West Coast, I mean, California, Oregon, and Washington, a lot of people are bailing out of there right, left, and center. All these donkeys are moving out because those states have turned into a mess. And instead of switching their thinking, they're bringing their cockamamie donkey ideas to states that have their act together. So we've got to be really, really careful about that. Now, okay, here's the part that everybody's been waiting for. Okay, now, sometimes before I get a visit from somebody, I will smell certain things, like a perfume or an aftershave. I mean, when my dad pays a visit, I smell Old Spice. Yes, Old Spice guy's aftershave. Well, lately I've been smelling this one perfume called Dorissimo, and it's got a lily of the valley scent to it. Now, this was very popular among the Sloan Rangers during the 70s and 80s. And this person was known for wearing that perfume when she was young. So I've been smelling that a lot in my house. And I don't wear that perfume. I don't even own a bottle of it. I've been wearing Arpege since I was a teenager. And yes, I still have it. And I also look for the original formulation, not the new stuff. So, yeah, I keep smelling Dorissimo, and I was glanced over something, and I had watched somebody else's video, a lady from Think Harps. You know, they play harps in Ireland and Scotland and stuff. And as I'm listening to her, this is when I started smelling the perfume. And I'm hearing this woman's voice going, we were both manipulated. We were manipulated by the gray suits. The suits gave Martin the information needed to create the paperwork. The gray suits were behind everything. Mama and Daddy, they couldn't do anything. It was the suits. They could only follow their suggestion. So it was the suits that, she goes, it was the suits that gave Martin the info to manipulate me to create the downfall. So she goes, he doesn't know everything. He was too young. He doesn't know it all. And he's lying. He's making up lies to build his ego, to puff himself up. But he doesn't know everything. He was too young. He doesn't know. He's lying. It's all lies. So basically, that's the message I got. He was too young, so he doesn't know. Everything was hidden from him. Which I think was very interesting. Especially smelling that perfume. I'm like, wow. And somebody else questioned, was making noise about his actual name is Henry. If his name is Henry, why do they call him Harry? Harry is the nickname for the name Henry. Go back, read your Tudor history. Henry VII had the two kids, had his two sons, Arthur and Henry. So to keep people straight when they were talking, Daddy was called Henry, the son's called Harry. Term of endearment nickname. So that's how it happens. Go back to Tudor history and you'll read it, and it explains it why. So yeah, okay, this is, like I said, this is the third time I'm filming this, and I'm like, hopefully it'll take. So I want everyone to have a happy, great Tuesday. The weather's beautiful. Pay attention. And yeah, this hopefully will be up by 4:30 today. And it's a pre-recorded video. I'll have another pre-recorded video on the 13th. And the month is April, so odd days in the month, 4:30 p.m., pre-recorded videos. Live broadcasts where people can jump on and talk, second and fourth Saturdays of each month. So thank you to everyone, and I hope you're having a great day.